be watching this, and welcome back to a new video on my ASMR channel. I know that it's been, once again, a good while since the last time I uploaded, and if you have been following me, I apologize for that. There are various reasons for it, one of them being work, and also some other things happening in my life in the past few months. But yes, I am back, and hopefully I can find the motivation to get some more videos out for you guys now in the coming days and weeks. You might also be noticing that I'm experimenting with a new microphone today. I think from my tests before recording this that the quality should be a lot better than in my previous videos. Please leave some feedback if you disagree or if you have any other opinions on it. I'll be happy to hear those. But hopefully this will be slightly better sound quality and less annoying background noise. At least that's what I hope. I do not know, but let's see. As you probably understand from the title, this will be a slightly different video from what I've done before, but not too different. I'm still going to be reading to you guys. I'm still going to carry on with the creepy topics, but instead of creepypastas and scary stories, today I'm going to be reading some creepy facts instead. I found these facts on BuzzFeed. There are 23 of them. Actually, the article is called 23 Horrifically Creepy Facts That You Probably Shouldn't Read After 10 p.m. Coincidentally, it's currently 30 minutes past 10 p.m. when I'm recording this, so I might be doomed. If this video comes out though, you'll know that I was fine. It's written by a woman named Sid Robinson. I will also be linking to this article in the description, and all credit goes to BuzzFeed and the writer. So, let's get into it. The first fact is chainsaws were originally invented for childbirth. Off to a good start here. I don't even know how that would have been intended. It seems like this one comes from Reddit. But yes, that sounds a bit brutal. Moving on swiftly to the next one. Fact number 2. There is an island of the dolls in Mexico City that has thousands of creepy dolls to honor a little girl who drowned in the 1950s. The island is said to be one of the most haunted places. And this is accompanied by a picture of a quite creepy doll. I think I've heard about this island before actually, on some YouTube channel. Really creepy, especially since all the dolls are now really old and they're moldy and dirty, and some of them are like not even in one piece anymore. Fact number 3. It's estimated that there are around 25 to 50 active serial killers in the US. That one does not surprise me even in the slightest. That's just active ones. There's probably many more that have been active in the past, but are now just retreated, but are still on the loose. That's not a nice thought. I do not live in the US, but I mean, we all know about how many serial killers there are actually been over there. I think the numbers have gone down a little bit. I think there was like a high for it a few decades ago, but still, that's a high number. That's almost one per state, or one per state if it is actually as many as 50. Fact number 4. One inmate who survived the first round of electrocution said death tasted like peanut butter. Okay, I have actually never tried peanut butter. I do not know why. It's just never fallen to me. I've seen a lot of other people eat it, and yeah, I don't know. I know a lot of people like it, but I've just never tried it. Maybe I should, or maybe not after reading this. Number 5. You have a bunch of microscopic parasites called demodex on your eyelashes and in the pores on your face. They come out at night and lay eggs and eat the oils on your face. Okay then, that's not too pleasant, but I'm sure they don't do any harm, even though the thought isn't too nice. Fact number 6. Cotard's delusion is a rare psychiatric condition which causes the sufferer to wholeheartedly believe they are dead, putrefying, or simply do not exist. Some Cotard's patients refuse to eat as they do not believe they need to, with one notable patient dying of starvation. Another woman asked to be taken to a morgue to be with the other dead people. I heard about this before as well. That is so creepy. Although it doesn't quite make sense though, because if you are able to think that you're dead, shouldn't that kind of defy the whole thing? Like, if you're dead, you would not be thinking or believing these things, but obviously it's a mental disorder, so logic doesn't really apply. Must be horrible though, both for the person affected and also for anyone connected to them. Fact number 7. The last use of a guillotine in France was the same year the first Star Wars movie premiered, 1977. That is messed up. I did not realize they kept using the guillotines for that long. If you don't know what a guillotine is, it's basically the device that was used to behead people in, I think it was a more humane fashion, because it did rarely fail, or it would fail less than if you had somebody actually swinging an axe, but beheading is a horrible way to execute someone. I mean, execution itself is a horrible thing, but wow, 1977. Okay then. Number 8. A rat king is a phenomenon created when a large group of rats become fused together by their tails via ice, dirt, hair, blood, or even feces. Encounters with this horrible phenomenon inspired some of humanity's greatest myths. Also seen that before. There's also a picture of it actually. Wow, that is disgusting. I think they also usually die from it because they can't really function, they can't get food, and yeah, horrible for the rats, and also quite creepy if you come across one. Fact number 9. There is a rare genetic disease called fatal familial insomnia, where over the course of months you literally cannot go or be put to sleep no matter what you take or what you do. The symptoms get progressively worse until your brain deteriorates and you die from exhaustion. Wow. That's terrible. I mean, just being awake for 24 hours can be really tough. Imagine this. Really, really sad to think about that some people have to go through these things. I do not think it's very, very common though, luckily. Fact number 10. During the Victorian era, it was not uncommon for families to take pictures with recently deceased relatives. This was done as one final moment with that person to honor them. I mean, that is very morbid, obviously, but in a way, also kind of a nice thing, I guess. I mean, they wouldn't have done it if they thought it was terrible. It's one last memory, honoring him or her. Strange to think about today, though, but I'm sure back then it wasn't really strange. It was just, you know, that's what they did. There's actually a picture here as well with what I assume are the parents and posing with their dead daughter, and she looks quite lifelike. They used to to put them up, dress them up, and make them look like they were actually alive in the pictures, which made it even more creepy in my opinion. Okay, moving on. Number 11. Dogs like squeaky toys because they sound like small animals being crushed. Wow. Way to ruin the little innocent playing with your dog and their squeaky toys. In other news, dogs are psychopaths. No, they're not, but still, I did not know that. I don't know how true this is. I guess it makes sense. So, might be true. Obviously, all of these facts you need to take with a grain of salt, since, they seem to be coming from a lot of random users. But yeah, it's still interesting, and I'm sure most of them are actually real. Fact number 12. Patients undergoing colonoscopies are most commonly put under conscious sedation, meaning the anesthetic doesn't actually numb pain or even send you unconscious. They just impair your ability to form memories. You're awake and aware of the pain, you just don't remember. For colonoscopies, wow, I thought colonoscopies was actually quite a common thing to do if you're struggling with certain things, but I mean, this sounds more like a form of torture now. I'm sure it's not as bad as it sounds with the way it's described here with the anesthesia, but I mean, that was a pretty rough way to describe it. Fact 13. When anglerfish mate, the male literally deforms its body and fuses with the female, and they live together for the rest of their lives. Come on, people who say that romance is dead. This is nature at its most beautiful. There's a picture here as well, which I do not even know what I'm looking at, but there are some arrows pointing to the male and the female, but I wouldn't be able to tell that this is a fish. Oh well. Each to their own. Fact 14. Not sure how to pronounce this. Scapism, something like that, is the worst way of execution I've ever heard of. The word comes from Greek and stands for hollowed out. The victim is trapped between two boats, fed and covered with milk and honey, which then attracts all kinds of insects and vermin that fester and devour you over a couple of days. Wow. That's a terrible way to die. I've never heard about that one. I assume that was something they used to do back in the day. Hopefully no longer. Fact 15. Indian followers of, there's another tough word, Zoroastrianism, it is said, don't bury or burn their dead. Instead, they leave the bodies in special towers, exposed to the elements to be eaten by vultures. Well, I guess, it's kind of one way to become one with nature again, whether you're being buried or burned. But obviously, it's not something that would be accepted in most cultures today, but I kind of get why they do it. And I'm sure it's not in any way meant to disrespect the dead, but it's just their tradition. Giving back to nature, I guess, returning to where you came from. But yeah, kind of brutal. Fact 16. Feeding a human body to pigs will cause them to eat almost everything. Alright. Pigs there. Number 17. Ted Bundy, a serial killer, used to work for a suicide hotline. Well, this is kind of a ironic one. I think I actually also heard that he used to, like, he did some nice things before he turned into a serial killer. Like he chased down some mugger or something, and did some other things as well to help people, and he got claimed by the police. But then he turned dark, or I'm sure he was already dark at that time as well, but then he started doing those horrible things that he's famous for now. Fact number 18. Postpartum psychosis can show up in a new mother virtually overnight. It can make them hallucinate or go into the psychosis, making them think their baby is a demon or the Antichrist, for example. New mothers kill their own children because of postpartum psychosis more often than you might like to think. That's really messed up. He says that more often than you might like to think, but I still hope that it's not as often as you're thinking after reading that. I haven't heard about it before, maybe you have. Number 19. The island of Okunoshima in Japan has World War II ruins of a chemical weapons factory that created poison like mustard gas in its attacks on China. Its secrecy was so vital to the Japanese government that they tried to wipe its location off the maps. Not uncommon for places that so terrible things happening to be like the governments tried to hide them, cover up after the war ended. Many countries. Fact 20, we're nearing the end here now. There's a lot of difficult words in these ones, but bear with me. Patchouli was used to cover up the smell of decaying flesh during the Black Plague. Patchouli. I don't know what that is. I'm actually gonna look it up. It's some type of plant, actually. I think I've seen this, but I did not know that's what they're called. There's many different pictures of them, really. I'm not sure exactly which one to describe to you, but look them up if you're interested. Kind of purple, kind of tall looking. Anyway, I'm not gonna pretend I'm a flowers expert now. Fact number 21. When CNN first signed on in 1980, they recorded a band playing a hymn that they were meant to play at the end of the world. It was hidden from the public for 35 years. Practicing, I hope. I mean, in these days you wouldn't be surprised if you suddenly heard that one playing. So much strange things going on. Hopefully this will be a better year for us all, though. Fingers crossed for that. Fact 22, the second to last one. Only about 5% of the ocean has been mapped, and there are most likely creatures that we would think of as aliens living deep, deep down. Yeah, that is an interesting one. How much of the planet, in terms of the ocean, that we have never explored. There's so many secrets down there still that remain to be uncovered, if they ever will be uncovered. And the last one is that tarantulas can swim. Yeah, I'm not overly afraid of spiders personally, but it's definitely one of the most common phobias. Tarantulas are probably the most famous one, or the most infamous one, I should probably say. To know that they can actually follow you even if you jump into the water. Imagine being chased by a tarantula, swimming. 8 arms as well, you can probably swim really fast. I don't know. But yes, that was all the facts that I have for you today. I don't know how many of these are accurate, how many of them are real, but nevertheless, I found them all really interesting. I hope you did as well. Yeah, hopefully I can do some more of these videos if I can find some more interesting facts for you. But yes, that is it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like the content. If you didn't, then that's okay as well. Use the dislike button. But yeah, any feedback, anything at all is welcome in the comment section. So yes, I will see you guys in the next video. Good night.